Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are tackling Start With Why
Mm.
by Simon Sinek.
Oh, a classic.
It is, and we're really going to unpack his big idea that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Right. And how that applies to everyone, not just businesses, right? Like how does that work for me in my personal life?
Exactly. So to kick things off, maybe you could break down this whole golden circle thing for us.
Sure. Well, Sinek, he presents this framework, right? It's called the Golden Circle.
All right.
And it's visualized as like three concentric circles. And the outermost circle is the what, which represents your products or services, the things you actually do. Moving inward, you have the HOW, which are the processes or actions you take to deliver that what.
Uh-huh.
And then at the very core, the innermost circle, you have the WHY, the purpose, the cause, or the belief that drives all your actions.
So it's like peeling back the layers of an onion, right? You start with the what, which is what's most visible, and then you dig deeper to understand the HOW and ultimately the WHY, that core motivation.
Exactly. And Sinek argues that most companies start with the what, focusing on features, benefits, competitive advantages.
The stuff everyone leads with?
Right. But truly inspiring leaders and organizations, they flip the script. They start with WHY.
Okay, I'm seeing the theory here, but can you give me a real-world example? Like, how does a company actually start with why?
Well, think about Apple. They don't lead with like specs and technical jargon.
Hmm.
They communicate a feeling, a
Hmm.
belief in challenging the status quo. Like their Think Different campaign, that wasn't about selling computers, right? It was
Yeah.
about tapping into a deeper desire for innovation and individuality.
So they're not just selling you a product. They're selling you a belief system, a way of seeing the world.
Exactly. And that's where it gets really interesting because Sinek, he links this back to our brains, like literally how our brains are wired. He says the limbic brain, the part that drives our emotions and decision making, that's the part that responds to WHY messages, not just cold hard facts.
So are you saying we're more likely to make decisions based on emotions rather than logic?
In many ways, yes. Think about it. Haven't you ever bought something based on a gut feeling?
Oh, all the time.
Even if you couldn't fully explain why, that's your limbic brain talking. It's responding to a sense of trust or alignment, not just logic.
That makes sense. It's like choosing a restaurant based on the vibe, even if you haven't even looked at the menu yet.
Exactly. It's about how it makes you feel.
Okay, so if businesses want to create that kind of deep connection with customers, they need to start with why.
Absolutely. And this goes for individuals too, right?
Oh, yeah?
When you're clear about your WHY, it informs all your decisions.
It's like a guiding principle.
Exactly. It guides your actions, helps you connect with people who share your values.
That's powerful. So what kind of impact can a strong WHY have?
Oh, the benefits are huge. Increased trust, loyalty, better decision making, more innovation, more creativity, deeper sense of fulfillment.
So basically, everyone wins.
Pretty much. But here's the flip side, right? What happens when the WHY gets fuzzy?
Ooh, good question. What happens then?
Things can go downhill fast. Lack of direction, loss of trust. People start relying on manipulative tactics because they've lost sight of that authentic core. Morale and motivation plummet.
It's like a ship without a rudder, just drifting aimlessly.
Yeah. Think about Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
They built their brand on creating that third space, right? Between work and home, this welcoming
Like
environment.
coffee shop culture.
Yeah, but as they focused on rapid expansion efficiency, they lost that warmth, that personalization.
So they got caught up in the what and the hey W and forgot about the WHY.
Exactly. Drive thrusts, automated processes. The experience became less about genuine connection and more about transactions. Customers felt like Starbucks lost its soul.
And I bet that impacted their bottom line too.
Absolutely. It's a powerful reminder that staying true to your WHY is essential for long-term success.
Totally. But how can we know if we're on the right track? Sinek talks about this celery test, right?
Yes, the Celery Test. It's a brilliant tool for checking that alignment, making sure you are true to your WHY.
How does that work?
So imagine you're at a dinner party
Okay, I'm with you,
and everyone's giving you advice on your business.
like they always do.
Right. And they suggest all these popular things, even if they don't fit your core values. It's like that pressure to follow trends, even if they don't feel authentic.
It's tough to resist sometimes.
Right. But the Celery Test keeps you focused. If your WHY is, say, promoting healthy living, Only the celery truly aligns, even if those other suggestions seem tempting.
So it's like a filter for your decisions.
Exactly. It helps you evaluate everything, even in your personal life.
Oh.
Career choices, relationships, how you spend your free time.
This is really making me think about my own choices and how often I might be straying from what truly matters.
It's about aligning your actions with your beliefs, living with intention.
I'm loving this. It's giving me so much to think about.
And when you make decisions through the lens of your WHY, things fall into place, opportunities appear, and you feel so much more fulfilled.
It's almost like magic.
It kind of is. It's the power of starting with WHY, tapping into that deeper purpose.
And then Sinek also talks about partnerships, right?
Yes, he highlights these YUI types and how types working together.
And remind me again, what's the difference?
So YY types are visionaries.
Okay.
Big ideas, inspiring energy. How types are the builders, the ones who make it happen.
So you need both to be successful.
Exactly. Think of Steve Jobs, the visionary, right?
Uh-huh.
And then Steve Wozniak, the engineer who made it all real. Or Bill Gates, the big WHY guy. And Paul Allen, who built Microsoft into what it is.
It's that perfect combination of vision and execution.
Yes. And these partnerships, they're everywhere.
That's so cool.
Businesses, artists, activists, families.
So finding the right partner can be a game changer.
Totally. But that shared WHY, that's crucial. They have to be on the same page, working towards the same goal, or it won't work.
This makes me think about my own strengths and weaknesses. And maybe I need a partner who complements my skills and shares my vision.
Hard be. But how do we even begin to find our own WHY? It seems like a really big question.
It is a big question.
Yeah.
But the good news is your WHY is already within you. It's about uncovering it.
Okay, so where do we start digging?
Start by paying attention to those moments in your life that brought you joy. When did you feel most fulfilled? What were you doing? Who were you with? What were you working towards?
So it's about those peak experiences that gave us a glimpse of our true purpose.
Exactly. Don't dismiss those gut feelings either. What decisions just felt right, even if you couldn't explain them? What are you drawn to, even if it doesn't make logical sense? Remember, the limbic brain is where our WHY lives.
It's starting to feel like a puzzle we're putting together, slowly uncovering a clearer picture of ourselves.
And the more we understand our WHY, the more intentional and fulfilling our lives can become.
This is all so fascinating, and we've covered a lot of ground.
But I think we should pause here and let this all sink in for a bit.
Welcome back, everybody. So before the break, we were talking about, uncovering your WHY.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
All those pink moments.
Right.
Those gut feelings,
And it does feel exciting, like you said, like we're digging for treasure.
It is exciting. It's like those aha moments when you're like, oh, I see it now.
Yeah. And what I appreciate is that you emphasize that. Like, we don't need to have a perfectly worded statement right now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's about exploring and really figuring ourselves out.
It is, yeah. It's a journey. And as you sort of solidify that understanding, then you can, put it to the test with the celery test we talked about.
Oh, right. Yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
Right. Because it's not just for business decisions. It applies to, like, everything in life, right?
So how would I use that for, like, a career choice or, like, a relationship?
So it's like, asking yourself, does this opportunity, this relationship, this path, does it truly align with my WHY?
I see. Yeah.
If it doesn't pass that test, if it just feels off or misaligned, maybe it's time to rethink things.
I like that. It's like it's the filter for our choices.
Yeah, it is. It's about living a more authentic life, right? Where your actions are aligned with what you believe in.
Makes sense. So what happens then? Like when you are living in alignment?
Well, when you are, it creates this like ripple effect.
The ripple effect. What do you mean?
So it not only impacts you, but it also impacts those around you.
Oh, okay.
Like your passion becomes contagious, It's like you're radiating this authenticity and people are drawn to it.
So it's like be the change you want to see, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you embody your WHY, you inspire others to do the same.
But I'm sure a lot of people listening are thinking, well, this all sounds great, but I'm stuck. Like I want more purpose, but I don't know where to start.
Right. Well, first of all, be patient. This isn't a race,
Yeah.
Discovering your WHY is a marathon. So don't get discouraged if you don't, have all the answers right away. Just keep asking yourself those questions, right? The ones we talked about earlier. What brings you joy? What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What are your values?
And I think journaling can be a really helpful tool for that.
Oh, for sure. Just getting those thoughts out on paper can be so clarifying.
Absolutely. And also maybe just trying new things, right?
Experiment, try things, explore different interests.
Stepping outside your comfort zone.
Exactly. Volunteer,
What?
right. See what resonates with you. The more you put yourself out there, the more likely you are to find something that really lights you up.
It's like you have to kind of stumble upon it sometimes.
You do. And don't be afraid to, talk to people you trust.
Oh, yeah, your support system.
Yeah. People who know you well, ask them for their perspective. Sometimes those closest to us, they see things in us that we don't even see in ourselves.
Yeah, like they can hold up a mirror.
Exactly. And you don't have to do this alone, right? There are so many resources out there, books, podcasts.
Like this one.
Exactly. Workshops, coaches. Don't hesitate to seek guidance from people who have done this before.
Just like building your team.
You are. And once you have a better idea of your WHY, then it's time to, take action. Start small. Tiny steps in the right direction.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe it's like volunteering, like we said, maybe taking a class to learn a new skill, or just having a conversation with someone who inspires you.
It's all about taking action, because that's when things really change.
It is. Because as you align your life with your WHY, you'll start to feel more energized.
More fulfilled, right?
Yes. More like, you're living a life that matters.
And that's the whole point, right? To feel like our lives have meaning and purpose.
That's it. Finding that sweet spot where your passion, your purpose, and your actions, they're all in sync.
I love that. But what if someone figures out their WHY and it doesn't feel practical? What if it doesn't lead to a career or a, sustainable lifestyle?
Well, that's a real concern, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Your WHY doesn't have to be your job title.
Well,
It doesn't have to be a specific career. It's more of a guiding principle, a filter for your decisions.
so if my WHY is to, I don't know, bring joy to others
Yeah.
or to make the world a more beautiful place, I can still find ways to incorporate that into my work, even if it's not my dream job.
Absolutely. You can infuse your WHY into what you're already doing, right?
Right.
Or you can, volunteer or find creative outlets.
It's those little things.
It is. It's about finding those ways to live your WHY, even if it's not the, most obvious path.
Right.
And the world needs people who are passionate, no matter what their job is.
Yeah.
Your WHY is your unique contribution. It's valuable.
That's such a good point.
Right.
We all have something to offer.
We do. And
Yeah.
and as you live your WHY more intentionally,
Yeah.
you might be surprised by the opportunities that pop up.
Oh, yeah. You might meet people, who can help you.
It's like the universe conspiring to help you.
It kind of is. And even when you face challenges, right, your WHY is that anchor, that motivation that keeps you going.
It's your North Star.
Exactly. And, celebrate those small victories along the way, right? Even tiny steps forward, because they all add up.
I like that. Because every decision, it brings us closer to that life we want.
It does. And as you keep going, you'll notice a shift, your energy, your mindset. You'll just feel more fulfilled.
I can imagine.
And then, things start to click into place. Your work, your relationships, your time, it all feels more meaningful.
It's like everything becomes aligned.
It does. It becomes more authentically you.
Okay, yeah.
And as you experience that, you'll naturally want to share it.
Uh-huh.
You become an inspiration to others. It's that ripple effect again.
Like paying it forward.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about this, right? It's not just about you finding your WHY. It's about inspiring others to do the same.
I'm totally getting that.
So that we can create a world where everyone is living in alignment with their passion and their purpose.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, this has been such an inspiring conversation. I
Yeah.
feel like now more than ever, I'm ready to take action.
That's great.
So what should we leave people with?
Remember, you don't have to figure it all out today.
Right?
Take it one step at a time.
This feels like a good place to wrap things up.
It does.
Let everyone process everything we've talked about.
Right.
So thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into WHY.
It's been great being here.
And we hope you leave feeling inspired to create a more purpose-driven life.
And remember, your WHY is out there waiting to be discovered. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep living a life that matters.
Wow, we've really covered a lot of ground about this whole WHY thing.
We have, from the
Yeah.
Golden Circle to the Celery Test to those partnerships.
And how to really find our own
Yeah.
WHY.
That purpose that's already inside us.
So where do we go from here? How do we actually start living a more, WHY-driven life?
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's one thing to understand it, but another to actually put it into practice.
Yeah, for sure.
So first step is to solidify that WHY statement.
Oh, okay.
Take all those insights, your journal entries, those conversations, those moments that really resonated.
And try to sum it all up.
Exactly. Into a single, clear statement, write it down, put it somewhere you can see it every day. It's like your North Star.
Okay, I love that. So we have our WHY statement. Now what?
Now it's about making choices that align with it.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be these big, dramatic changes, you know?
Okay, good.
Start small. Say no to things that drain you, you know? Or say yes to that opportunity that you've been putting off.
Things that excite you.
Yes. Be more mindful of your choices,
Okay.
big and small. Always asking, does this fit with my WHY?
Does it get me closer to where I want to be?
Exactly. And surround yourself with the right people. People who inspire you, who get your WHY.
Yeah, because this isn't always easy.
It's not. You're going to face challenges, have doubts, maybe even stumble a few times.
So having that support system, people who can pick you up when you're down.
Yeah. It makes all the difference, like having your own personal cheer squad.
Totally. And it's okay to not be perfect, right?
Of course not. It's about learning and growing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a journey, not a destination.
So the more we live in alignment with our WHY, the more fulfilled we'll be.
Absolutely. You'll see a shift in your energy, your mindset.
Everything just kind of clicks.
It does. Your work, your relationships, how you spend your time, it all becomes more meaningful, more authentically you.
This is so powerful. It's really making me think about how I want to live my life.
And, as we wrap up, I want to say the world needs passionate people.
People who care.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
your WHY, that's your unique contribution. Don't underestimate its value.
We all have something to offer.
We do. And when we embrace our WHY, we inspire others to do the same.
It's that ripple effect again.
It is, creating a world where everyone is living their purpose.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all this wisdom.
My pleasure. And remember, this is just the beginning for you. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep living that life that truly matters.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.